Welcome back to the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show, coming in from the high above in the slalom offices just to the north of Lumen Field. You can see the fans starting to squeeze in as they're expecting a huge crowd today to watch the U.S. take on Australia.
A lot of yellow in there, Paul.
It's early.
Look at that.
Remember, Chris, they had the march. The Australians had the march to the match earlier today.
Sure.
They beat the U.S. in their march to the match. They got there early. Lots of yellow jerseys as we walked over here today. But again, that was the early showing. The late showing is all red, white, and blue, or a lot of it right now for sure. So.
You know what? I'm just kind of, I'm on it. I'm not joking. I got goosebumps. I'm filling up with pride because the rest of the world, I mentioned this at the top of the show, is watching this match. It's going to be 9 o'clock in Paris. Australia, they're staying up, all night long for this match. So Seattle is on full display, and it couldn't be any better. I mean, blue skies, sunshine, Mount Rainier is shining, the fish are flying at Pike Place Market, the gooey ducks are popping their necks, Paul. Welcome to the PNW,
What is this, a WWE broadcast? When did it go there, man? Holy cow. You're right, though. This is where everybody comes to Seattle in the summer. They enjoy the weather and all of the things you just talked about for sure. So a lot to look forward to as the U.S. and Australia get set to kick it off across the street at high noon, so about an hour and 10 minutes away. So
you're excited. I think I may be overexcited, but also some soccer coaches that have been here for a long time are pretty pumped about today's game. Soccer coaches Alan Hinton and Pete Fewing, they joined us on the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show this week, breaking down the game. Alan was, joined us. It was great to see Alan Hinton, the legend. He thinks this USA team is very tough, one of the best he's ever seen. Here's what Pete Fewing thinks about today's game against Australia.
I think this will be the best of the games and most like for like. Australia's going to be physical. They had a good 2-0 win over Turkey. Watching the two friendlies, preparation games against Senegal and Germany gave me a lot more hope. And I felt like in those games, the team looked a lot more relaxed. They weren't trying to win a spot. They had a spot. And we got 2 really good goals in the first 20 minutes against Senegal. Really good goals. Pulisic crossing to Dest, smashes it home. That goes in anywhere in this tournament. And then Pepe plays a great ball into Pulisic, one-touch pass, the goal, he scores. We gave up a couple of bad passes right before the half, and then to tie it 2-2. And so those kind of things concern me. And against Germany, we gave up a foul early. They scored 2 minutes in on a great free kick, but we got to defend better. So I like us offensively. We scored 8 goals in the last 3 games. The 2 friendlies coming in preparation, and then the 4 goals here. So I like where we are. We just got to make sure we don't give the ball away.
Okay, Paul, that seems to be something a lot of the so-called experts are talking about, is just the concern with U.S.'s defense right now.
Well, it's a great point, because when you're playing, this is the elite of the elite. These countries are sending their best, and when you're playing these teams, Chris, one tiny mistake, they're going to make you pay. Yeah. They are. If you whiff that ball in the back line or you miscommunicate with your fellow teammate there, they're going to jump on it and score, and that's going to be the difference. So that's what he's talking about. You have got to have a tight ship when you're playing at this level.
And somebody that knows about defense is Casey Keller. We heard from him earlier on in the show. We wanted to ask the Sounders great if the U.S. national team has a weakness right now. What is it? Well, Casey kind of agrees with Pete Fewing, and he did not hold back.
They haven't kept a clean sheet in 9 games. So even in like, take for example in one of the most dominating performances in U.S. World Cup history, there still was the mistake to concede a goal. So there's those times when can this U.S. team keep the ball out of the back of their own net? But here's what's kind of fun about this match a little bit. I mean, these are 2 cultures that aren't primarily soccer cultures. This isn't 150, 180 other countries in the world where soccer football is, it's that and nothing else. So these are 2 also countries that are continually trying to gain respect and gain popularity. And I think the 2 of them should be a lot of fun with the success they've both had in their opening matches.
Great to hear from Casey Keller. We're talking about that U.S. defense, and maybe that U.S. offense is going to be challenged today as well, because we're getting word reported by The Athletic that Christian Pulisic, one of the big stars of this team and certainly an offensive powerhouse for the guys up front, is not going to be available today. He had the calf injury that forced him out of the halftime of the first game against Paraguay. They thought he'd be ready maybe for this one and be available, but he is not going to play today, according to The Athletic.
That is a tough blow for the U.S. men's national team right there.
That's right. That's a big blow.